Hi, my name is Isaiah Wilson, and I'm an aspiring multimedia journalist. I'm a recent graduate of the University of Montevallo, where I'm a Bachelor's of Science in Mass Communications with a concentration in multimedia journalism. I enjoy reporting on news stories that impact my life and the community around me. I also enjoy photography and videography, as I have my own photography business. Here I put together a reel of some of my recent news work during my time at the university. I hope you enjoy. A new study shows making arts and crafts can be good for your mental health. The study was published recently in Frontiers in Public Health. It found engaging in creative activities can significantly boost well-being by providing meaningful spaces for expression and achievement. The research is focused on arts and crafting at a broad level rather than specific hobbies. The study said things like knitting and drawing can be engaging and creatively fulfilling. Forecasters expect a tropical system to rapidly intensify over the record-warm Gulf of Mexico this week and eventually become a hurricane. For now, the National Hurricane Center has dubbed it Potential Tropical Cyclone 9. They say it could strengthen into Hurricane Helene. Hurricane and tropical storm watches will most likely be issued for the U.S. Gulf Coast in the coming days. Forecasters show a potential landfall in Florida's Big Bend region, but anyone from Florida's Gulf Coast to eastern Louisiana should be on alert this week. According to the National Weather Service, this storm will bring rain and some strong wind gusts to parts of Alabama later this week. Hello, and welcome to Valor Vision News. I'm Isaiah Wilson.
And I'm Taylor Walker. Thanks so much for joining us. Birmingham police have made an arrest in connection to the mass shooting there last month.
According to police, 22-year-old Damian McDaniel of Fairfield was arrested Wednesday. He's been charged with 1 count of capital murder and 17 counts of first-degree assault. 4 people died and 17 others were injured after gunfire erupted at a popular nightlife area in downtown Birmingham. Police at the time said multiple people drove up, got out of their vehicle, and began shooting, then got back in their car and drove away. The police chief says the investigation is ongoing. Some X users are up in arms after the social media company changed its terms of service to let its AI train on everyone's posts. On X, artists are concerned about their work being used to train computers that could someday replace human creators entirely. Other users say they're concerned about personal information in their tweets being used that way. The terms say any users who continue to use X on November 15th will be agreeing to the updated terms. It's unclear at this point if users can opt out of their posts being used to train AI. With just over a month until Thanksgiving, Minnie Mouse has a new gig. The beloved Disney character will get her own 60-foot balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. She joins Mickey, Pluto, Donald Duck, and Goofy. Macy's says it's been a long-held dream to bring Minnie's character to life, and it's the perfect time with both the parade and Minnie approaching centennial status. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will be held on November 28th in New York City.
Can you explain the Electoral College to us, and why do we as a government system use that versus the popular vote?
Sure. That's hard to do in a short answer, but I'll try. So the initial idea was to shield the presidency from regular people, right? Okay. So it's that extra step in between just regular voters and this esteemed office of the president. So that's why our founders put it in that way. And you might remember they also did the same thing with our Senate, our U.S. Senate, right? They used to be elected by the state legislature of each state. So that's why we do it. It does feel antiquated and out of date now, but in order to change it, we would have to amend the Constitution, which is very, very difficult to do. You need 2/3 majority in all of Congress, both the House and Senate, and then 3/4 of state legislatures to agree. So I feel unsure that would likely happen, but that's why we use it. It's been in place since the start of our Constitution in 1789.
Okay. Next question. How will each candidate's social media influence affect their campaign, and do you feel like celebrity influences really make a difference in supporting each candidate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So interestingly, I just listened to a story the other day about how candidates actually are still spending the bulk of their money on television ads. So we might think that in 2024 you would be funneling a lot of that money towards social media, but they really are still spending a lot on television. So I do think it'll help for the youth vote, which we've already already seen, some turnout there, but that's always the question, right? Younger voters get excited, but do they actually show up? Especially in a state like Alabama, where you have to be there on a Tuesday between 7 and 7, right? But so I think it sort of remains to be seen the influence there.
Hello and welcome to Valley Vision News. I'm Holly Mann.
And I'm Isaiah Wilson. Thanks so much for watching. UM's annual Giving Tuesday is right around the corner. Giving Tuesday is tomorrow, and it offers an opportunity to help donate and make a meaningful impact on the campus community. One anonymous donor will match every donation up to $5,000. The match donation will be going to the Student Financial Emergency Fund. Hello, and welcome to Valley Vision News. I'm Isaiah Wilson. Thanks so much for watching. UM's Chief of Police is retiring. After 25 years in law enforcement, Chief Tim Alexander will be retiring on March 1st. Chief Alexander has served as UM's police chief for almost 7 years. For everyone here at VVN, we would like to thank Chief Alexander for helping keep Montevallo's campus safe, and we wish him a very happy retirement. UMPD Sergeant Brian Prady will serve as the interim Chief of Police and Director of Public Safety starting March 1st. We've got more about Chief Alexander's retirement on our website, ValleyVisionNews.com. Dozens of UM supporters showed their love for the university on Valentine's Day by taking part in the Day of Giving. Together, 76 donors gave a total of $6,900. That money will go toward enhancing the experience of UM students in various ways, including scholarships, essential student services, and leadership opportunities. Although this year's Day of Giving is over, you can donate to UM year-round. Visit montevallo.edu/give to learn more. If you're looking to make a new fluffy friend, this week the University Program Council is hosting this semester's Stuff a Friend. The event will be held on Farmer Patio this Thursday at 6 p.m. Students will be able to pick an empty stuffed animal and then fill it with stuffing. This is the UPC's most anticipated event of the year, so try to come early to get your own fluffy friend. The Department of Communication is preparing to host its annual networking fair next week. Communication Career Day will be Wednesday, February 26th from 10 to 11:30 in the Student Activity Center. All UM students, faculty, and staff are invited to come network with alumni and other professionals to learn more about how a communication degree can be used in various career fields. There will be representatives showcasing careers in journalism, marketing, healthcare, finance, and more. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Valley Vision News on Instagram, Facebook, and X. That's all the time we have for today's show. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in to Valley Vision News again next week.
The men's basketball team is heading to the Go South Conference semifinals after a thrilling quarterfinal win over the University of West Alabama Tuesday night. Take a look at the last few seconds of the game.
West Alabama got to put it up. McGill gets an open three, air ball, and that will do it. Coach Anthony Kamara in his playoff debut gives Montevallo their first Gulf South Conference victory in the playoffs since 2007.
Though West Alabama led most of the game, thanks to the efforts of Tyson Sexton hitting a nasty corner three, followed by Brandon Fusel's clutch triple and Camden Andrews' easy money lay, the Falcons prevailed and won the game against rival West Alabama with a final score of 67-60. The Falcons move on to the Go South Conference semifinals, where they'll face number 2 seed Valdosta State this Saturday at 7:15 p.m. at the Pete Hanna Center at Sanford University.
The University of Montevallo's art department is hosting their spring senior art exhibitions. The exhibitions will showcase all the hard work the seniors have put in throughout this semester. The exhibitions will open Thursday, March 13th through May 2nd in the gallery at Block Hall. Information on artists will be announced on the art department's social media. UM's Communication Studies program will be hosting its annual COM Speaker Series next week. The topic for this year's speaker series is civic engagement and deliberative communication across Alabama. The goal is to help people and organizations foster dialogue, collaboration, and community action to shape the future of our state. The speaker series will be Monday, March 17th from 2 to 4 in Strong Hall, 119. It is open to all students, faculty, and staff. students had the opportunity to enjoy music, food, and companionship at Spectrum's Masquerade Ball. Students dressed up and wore masks to dance in the Student Retreat Center Monday night. Spectrum is a campus organization with the goal of providing a safe space for the student queer community. Spectrum hosts a variety of events that allows their members to be authentically themselves. In addition to hosting events, the organization has its own Discord channel where their members can create and develop a real sense of belonging.
Welcome back to this special edition of Valavision News.
Local businesses are the heart of small towns, and local restaurants are the town's lifeblood. I had the opportunity to interview one local business owner and ask him about his impact on the Shelby County community. The Montevallo subway has been providing healthy sub sandwiches to university students and residents for over 20 years. Located on Main Street, it's at the center of town, making it a popular lunch and dinner spot for locals and tourists.
To me, I'm nothing without my staff. So in that case, what I do is I try to hire a good team around me that's going to help me run things to a good efficiency, but also provide the greatest customer service possible.
Restaurant owner Scotty Renault owns several Subway restaurants throughout the county, but gives credit to his staff for making his business so successful.
Be the example you want to be with your staff. So with that is mirror what you want to be and practice what you preach. And that's coming in when things are hard, when things hit the fan, or your staff needs you, you're there for them and not leaving them on an island.
With one call, Mr. Renault showcases how dependable, skillful, and reliable he is. His efforts day in and day out rub off on his staff, which in turn produces exceptional customer service. On March 15th, a spring tornado swept through Shelby County. Mr. Renault and his staff wasted no time preparing sandwiches and meals for those that were affected.
This past weekend, we had a tornado come through Montevallo, Calera area. What we did last Sunday was we donated 15 platters to the tornado relief victims in Calera and tried to go out there and help them as much as we could that day. I've done a couple of things with Montevallo. I've partnered with the university on their Flex program to give their students more options for use in the city to use at the subway. But we're always looking forward to reaching back out to the community to helping the people that helps us grow and helps the business grow.
So Isaiah, why do you think managers like Scotty are so important to small communities?
I feel like managers like Scotty are so important because in a small town, everybody knows everybody. And the connections you make and the people you know in your small town are what make your town, run. So a manager like Scotty, he's a store manager for several Shelby County subways. You're going to see him in other stores. You're not just going to see him in a restaurant. You're going to see him at the grocery store. You might see him at the gas station. You might see him anywhere. But he does a business and he provides a service that you may need one day. So in return, his quality and his work is a reflection of him. He's going to be doing the same thing for somebody like you who's also like a resident in his town.
And it seems like he shows up for the community, especially for events like the tornado that just passed.
Yes, excellent relief. Shout out to Mr. Scotty for that, yes. Thank you so much for covering that story, Cypress. Now, why do you think it's so important that places like the Aldrich Coal Mine are preserved?
Yeah, I was very honored to do this story and going there and being there and meeting literally the family who created and has kept it up for so long was so important. But I just think small histories like this and small towns like this, it's so important to keep those histories alive and the story alive and keep telling the story, especially in this way with this small town museum. It was not tiny, but when you think museum, you usually think big, and it was tiny, but it was adorable, and it's really good to tell those stories. I mean, yeah. The family was amazing.
I wouldn't say, from seeing the footage you gathered, I saw that, like you said, when you think of museum, you think of this big, huge, Smithsonian thing, and that's not necessarily all the case. Museums like those, they're really good, and they're what's in it is what really matters. The little small tidbits of history, the pieces of coal, the actual mining material they use, the actual coal mines, the equipment and all that is real history.
Yeah. And they do a really good job, especially through photos. If they can't show something, a building's gone or something, they show it through photos the best way they can. And they even have an interactive coal mine to try to get you in that feel of what miners dealt with during that time. So they do a really good job over there. You should definitely go and visit.
University of Maryland students will learn it's not easy being green at their commencement this year. The school has announced Kermit the Frog will be delivering a speech to graduates on May 21st. University of Maryland says the beloved Muppet will offer words of optimism and encouragement as students embark on a new chapter in their lives. Kermit has a long history with the school. Muppets creator Jim Henson graduated from the university in 1960. The campus garden even has a bronze statue of Kermit and Henson. There's a mystery that's been going on for decades. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Well, he's coming to Netflix. The streaming service is coming out with a live-action series based on Scooby and the Gang. The beloved animated series has been adapted for 3 live-action movies, but this will be the first ever live-action TV adaptation. The 8-episode series will focus on the haunting case that brought the crew and their very animated dog together. No word yet on the cast or release date.
We have more information on the status of the merger between UM's music and theater departments. We sat down with the Dean of the College of Fine Arts, Dr. Sean Atkinson, to learn more. He says the merger is on pause for the time being. Dean Atkinson will serve as the interim chair of music. The departments were originally supposed to merge starting this fall, but the dean says they now want to slow down that process.
Getting feedback from faculty, getting feedback from students, and sort of hearing what was going on, I think the right decision. And thankfully the administration was willing to understand that. The right decision is to slow things down as much as possible, just to make sure that we're doing it appropriately and with input from everyone involved.
Plans for the merger will be discussed this upcoming academic year with the intent to launch a new combined department in fall 2026. In other campus news, fall registration for currently enrolled freshman students will open Thursday at 7 a.m. Registration for upperclassmen and graduate students is already open. Remember, you must meet with your advisor before you can register. Course evaluations for current spring classes are now open for all students. Evaluations are confidential and your professors don't see any of your feedback until after final grades are entered. All feedback is also anonymous. Course evals are open for students until April 25th.
Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed watching my newsreel.